Today, we're working with our friends at the Tracker Boating Center in Brainerd, Minnesota. Hi folks, I'm Nathan, two guys in a ride, and today we're here at the Tracker Boating Center in Brainerd, Minnesota, and we're here with Chris. Chris, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So behind us is a brand new Tracker product.
Correct. This is a Tracker Off-Road 450. It just came out this year, 2022. Brand new lineup. We just started to see them here at our store about 2 to 3 weeks ago.
And the 450 has not been made before, so I mean, this is all brand new.
For our line, correct. We've
Yes.
sold the 570s and the 700s. They've found that this market for the 450 is becoming a very strong market, so we thought we'd get into that size.
Okay, so let's just start at the front here. I'm assuming that these are these LED lights?
The headlights actually are halogens. They're
halogens.
Two halogen headlights.
Okay.
They got high and low beam. On the top here we have the front rack has a 75-pound capacity. They have a lot of different accessories that you can snap onto this. You want to put a gun rack up here. You want to put ice auger is a very popular thing to put on the front rack, is put an ice auger mount for ice fishing as well.
So lots of different accessories you can put on there.
You have also a spot to put a winch if you wanted to do any snow plowing, or you do get stuck on the trail. Sometimes those become very handy.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to have that plow mount.
Very nice.
So especially in Minnesota.
In this part of the country, it's a very nice tool to have. Yeah.
Right, so since this is all new, Chris, tell us about the suspension in the front.
Suspension, very nice suspension. They put the double A-arm suspension on here. Nice shocks, springs. Really good for multi-surface trails, rocks. You want to go on the snow. Very versatile, very nice ride.
Okay, and then it's what I think we mentioned this, but it is four-wheel drive. It's actually switchable.
Correct. It's a manual four-wheel drive switch. Very easy, quick. You do have to slow down a little bit. It's not on the fly, so you do have to slow down a little bit to put it into.
Okay. Do you actually have to be stopped, or just like down around 5 miles an hour?
Correct. Yeah. Just at a slower speed.
Okay.
Yep. Correct.
All right. So what are we running for front tires?
These tires are the Kendras, and very nice, very I will say like multi-surface tires, so you can ride in the mud very easy, get good traction. You want to go up onto pavement, crossing roads, things like that. Go into the snow, going out to the fish house, excellent traction.
Okay, and I'm assuming that here you would sell all sorts of different tires. If somebody wanted in the winter, say, switch to snow tires.
Correct.
Or more of a mud type tire.
Yep,
you sell all that accessories here.
We can put mud tires on there for you, change rims. A lot of guys like to go to a different chrome rim, things like that. We can help you out with that.
You have all those accessories here.
Correct.
As we see it here, is this kind of the standard? This is what comes? Has anything optional been added to this one?
Actually, the windshield is an optional.
Okay.
Typically, that's the only thing on here right now that we did add for this customer here. This is already a sold unit, but he wanted the tall. This is a tall windshield.
Okay. So you have a shorter one too.
We do. It's about 3 inches shorter. Correct.
Okay. And then is this like a air inlet?
Yep, air intake, so it allows, when it's colder weather, things like that, cold and hot, it allows air to flow through so you don't get the fogging effect.
It's just amazing. I remember seeing it in windshields years ago. They never would have put this in there,
Right.
It was what it was.
Yeah, it looks very nice, very sharp.
It does. I like the black graphics that go up there. It looks great.
It is nice.
All right, so we're going to come around here and take a look at the driver's area, the gauges and the levers and everything that's right there.
Okay.
All right, Chris, so tell us about this. Let's start with the driver's digital information.
Sure. The screen on here shows you all the pertinent information you need when you're driving the machine. We can easily just turn it on. It shows you the gear, has a gear indicator showing you what gear you're in, whether you're in neutral or high or low, reverse. Has a speedometer on there, has the odometer, also has an odometer trip, so it kind of keep track of a daily trip. You want to drive somewhere and you want to know how far you're going that day. You can easily just hit the trip button and then keep track of those miles.
Okay. And does it show like high beam or low beam or anything?
Yep, correct. It shows your high beam, low beam. Also has a fuel gauge, shows temperature gauge, some of the maintenance things like that. If you did, there's an error or a code, say dirty air filter, things like that,
Okay.
you might pop up a code that you can easily clear out and bring it to your local dealer and have it fixed.
And you know what was the issue.
Right.
That's so nice. You know, I see that on modern boats.
Right.
Too, with the built-in, some of them have the built-in computers, and we're seeing it more and more on these, where they're giving drivers and owners much more information to go into the shop with and say, hey, here's code popped up, here's what it means, and get it taken care of. That's really nice. I do like the red color in the background.
That is actually something new this year. I know we've had some blue and some lighter color whites and things like that, but I do like the red, especially when it gets a little bit darker out. It makes it easier to see.
It does. It's a nice contrast with the black overlay on it. I would think it would also be easy on the eyes, just in general. You know, not so much of a glare at night.
Correct. Yep.
So I do notice that you have a couple of things right here and here.
Correct.
So obviously, cup holder.
Yep, that's actually part of the windshield.
Okay.
So when you buy the windshield, this comes with it. You get a nice cup holder. Then you get another mounting device over here that if you wanted to mount your cell phone or a small tablet, things like that. A lot of people like to put on tablets to use different off-road mapping devices, things like that, or apps.
And then you can, so you got a spot to mount. Well, that's really neat that they thought of it. Now that brings up another question. Let's say you didn't want the windshield, but you want a cup holder and you want something to mount a phone to. Can you buy another accessory that's not a windshield that will do at least one of those?
Yeah, we do have accessory catalog. This particular unit's very new to us, so some of the accessories may not be in the current catalog. Just ask your dealer, and
find
we have
out
some other things that we could help you out with.
All right. I'm trying to envision riding down the road with my cup in that cup. It better be a well-sealed cup.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to go all over. But, you know, you're not always riding. Sometimes you're just sitting and talking. So if you have a closable one, I can see that being nice. I can really see the phone one being nice and the trails.
The phone one is very nice. I do a lot of trail riding, and I depend on my phone a lot because we go off the grid, and there's a lot of different mapping applications out there that can keep you on the trail. To mark the trail, and it's nice to have that accessible right in front of you.
It is. I mean, that whole world of off-road trail marking is gotten to be. We've seen it in the new, the new vehicles that are coming, new off-road vehicles.
Correct.
They'll have a crumb trail, they call it, where it actually will just drop things and let you find your way back. Okay.
Yep.
Now, this, I'm assuming, is a front brake?
Correct. On the handlebars, very standard. I don't think they've changed that very much in the last several years. You have your front brake on the left, your high and low beam light control, start indicator, there's a green button. You have your on-off switch. Then you also have a reverse override button.
Right here.
Correct.
Okay. So for those people that are new into ATVs, what does the reverse override do?
That is, if you're going real slow in reverse, you're no problem. But let's just say you want to travel about 20 or 30 feet and you want to go a little bit faster. Then you can just push that override button and it won't kill it.
It won't limit the speed there.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And then over on the far right, you've got a throttle underneath the handle?
Correct. Yep. We have our throttle indicator here, which on this one you can also adjust the speed as well. So say if you have some kids that 16, 17-year-old kids that you may not want them to be riding as fast as the machine goes.
Okay.
You can always adjust the throttle, and throttle it.
Oh, really? So it has an adjustable, throttle. Yeah, speed control basically, so it'll limit the speed.
Correct. And then also in front of here is where you have your four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive shifting. So very easy. All it is just a matter of flip of a switch. And you're into four-wheel drive.
That's interesting.
You want to go into two-wheel drive, just flip it right back, and you're back into two-wheel drive.
Okay, now, speaking of other levers here, you've got one on this side. I'm assuming this is your generic part, sort of a neutral drive and reverse?
Correct. Yep, that's our shifting lever. Okay. Forward, which is you have high and low, and then you have your neutral, reverse.
Okay, I do like how it comes down here for the feet.
Very nice and clean. They put a lot of nice covers on here. If any of you have gone mudding and things like that, branches, it keeps that area very nice.
Very nice. I also like the sort of the cleats almost that are in there in the middle for like winter, or even when it gets muddy and it gets really slippery.
You get mud packed on the bottom of your shoes and your boots.
That helps cut through.
The extra grip definitely helps you cut through, especially your trail riding. Your feet can be moved around with those extra grip on there. Really holds you in place.
And then of course you've got the vents in them. I call them vents, but you know it allows any water or anything as much as possible to drop out.
Right, a lot of debris. Yep.
Okay.
And over on this side, which you can't see, is our another brake lever as well. So that is our back or rear brake levers on your right foot.
Okay, all right. And now you've got a luggage rack on the back here as well, and is that standard?
Yep, this is all standard.
Okay.
The back luggage rack, that has a maximum weight of 150 pounds.
Okay.
And there, again, you can attach almost anything. A lot of guys like to put some hard cases, so enclosures like that, if they're going to carry gloves and wrenches, and you know, if you're going out trail riding, sometimes it's nice to have a tow rope and things like that that you can put inside.
You can put in there. So again, lots of accessories you can add to the back here.
Yep.
Now, what is underneath the seat?
The seat, yep, we'll take that off. Just pop it over here. Nice and clean. Under here, you have access to the battery compartment here.
Okay.
And you also can put a secondary battery here as well. So a small accessory battery compartment.
Okay. So that would be like maybe if you were running, say, accessory lights or
Accessory
a winch.
lights, plows, winch, yep.
Yeah,
winch
something like
for
that.
the plow. It gives you just that little bit of extra power.
So you make sure you can start it up when you're done.
Right.
Okay, I get
Very
that.
important.
And then you've got a little open, you got your air intake, I'm assuming right here?
Yep, air intake.
And then, is there anything under here that a consumer would, a user would want to get at?
Nothing under there is more just accessibility to
Just
the gas tank.
Okay.
Yep. And the gas tank, that's a 4.3 gallon.
4.3 gallons, okay. So the rear tires are obviously the same brand, but what's the size?
Yep, they're a 10-inch wide tire compared to the 9s that are in the front. Give you a little bit more grip, a little bit more stability as you're going down the trail, out on the ice, things like that.
All right. Let's talk about the back. So on the back, you do have, man, that's a 2-inch hitch receiver.
Yeah, it makes that really nice. So if you are somewhere, you need to pull something, you can easily go right to the back of your truck, pull the receiver out of the back of your truck as a standard 2-inch receiver.
Yeah.
Just slide it right on there. And have it very easily accessible.
That's nice. Otherwise, you got to have two different ones, and that's always kind of a pain.
Right.
What kind of bulbs do we have in the rear?
Those are halogen bulbs as well. Just like the front, you also have 2 lights in the back, which are very nice. The rear lights are nice, especially.
Oh, so that isn't just a reflector. That's another bulb under there.
That is another light bulb, correct.
Okay. So what's the purpose for having 2 bulbs?
Just nice to have when you're going down the road, trail riding, things like that. If I'm following this person that's driving this, it's very nice to see, especially if it's a little bit dusty. Nice to have nice bright lights on. So that way, if you know you're riding behind him, he hits the brakes, you know you need to slow down as well.
I also noticed that these are slightly sloped upwards, which is what you would want because the person behind you is riding higher than the lights are.
Correct.
Would make them a little easier to see. All right, so let's talk about what we have going on down here as far as the shocks and.
Yeah, very similar to the front. You also have the double A-arm suspension in the back. It's not the solid axle, so it does give you that smoother ride and more independent suspension for each corner.
Okay, and do you have disc brakes in all 4 tires?
Disc brakes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice, very easy to change, very easy for maintenance.
So it's got a CVT transmission, so what kind of a motor does that come with?
The motor it's considered a 450, and that's 442 cc's.
Okay.
EFI, so very easy, nice carburation. You can start it at multiple different elevations, and it'll automatically compensate
for that.
For the elevation level as well.
That's interesting. It's not a thing that I would have thought of.
Right.
I live on the same elevation all the time, but where you sell them, I mean, they can be sold at different elevations.
I've sold it to several customers that go out west, go out hunting in Montana, Colorado, things like that. And at first, he was not a believer. It was kind of nice to sell one to him. A good customer of ours went out there, hesitated. He said it ran for about a minute and a half, and it was just like running at home at a lot higher elevation.
So it automatically adjusts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just amazing what they do with that
It's nice.
technology. All right. You have a door over here that you would probably need to remove with a tool, but what does it give you access to?
Yep, that gives you access to where the air cleaner is, your air filter, and oil.
And oil.
Dipstick as well.
Dipstick.
Yep.
Okay. So you have access, fairly easy access, to get at all the basic things that you would need to do for maintenance.
Correct. Very easy accessible. Yep.
Not hard to. You're not going to spend an hour in the shop trying to get things apart.
Right.
Okay. Now this one comes in camouflage. I'm assuming it's offered in different colors as well.
Yep, we offer it in 2 other colors. This is our Strata Camouflage.
Okay.
We also offer this in red and white.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for taking your time today to show us through this beautiful, brand new 2022 450 ATV. We sure appreciate your time.
Thank you. It's been fun. Hope you guys could stop in if you are in the market for a four-wheeler or any off-road vehicle. Stop in at Tracker Boat Center here in Brainerd.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for watching.